thinking with this economy, who's buying right now in the real estate market? You're not alone. Getting that question every week from home buyers, who's actually buying in this market? But this week, we're going to break down and the hot sheet to see who's buying, what price ranges, and what is actually selling right now. So you can make educated decisions whether you're a buyer. Hey everybody, it's Mark Coons here with Selling Kelowna Real Estate Group. And if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in the Okanagan, this video is going to be for you. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and so you don't miss out on future videos and weekly updates. So now we're just going to break down the weekly hot sheet. So to be expected, we're seeing new listings falling off 157. If you recall, going back a few months, we're seeing higher around the 300 new listings. So on a weekly basis, we are seeing that coming down. We're also seeing overall inventory drop, which is, again, to be expected, seasonal slowdown. So where you're seeing it is these canceled, 96 canceled, 131 expired listings, properties that didn't sell. Some of these probably are going to pop back in the new listings, the really motivated ones. So if you've been watching a listing for a while, maybe it dropped off market, maybe it's coming back. It's something to know on it, and there might be some motivation, especially if they're relisting now. That's a sign for sellers of motivation in wanting to sell. Price decrease is slowing down. I think people are just probably selling in for the winter, but 84 price drop, still a significant amount. We're seeing triple digits for the last probably 6 months on that. Total sales is actually holding pretty strong. So 76 total sales for the first week of December. So going pretty good. And we'll see how things progress as we get a little bit further into December. Look to that probably drop in the next, obviously, 3 weeks. But people are going to want to maybe make offers now and make decisions before Christmas, because we're in that 2-week time period before Christmas where people might want to make some decisions. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses, and it might pick up heading into next year. But looking at the sold, so one thing to note on the solds this past week is the lowest sale was $200,000 on Lakeshore Road for a mobile home. But we're looking at the top end market. The highest price one was $3.575 million on Pritchard. So this was a waterfront unit, beautiful property, 80-foot frontage on the water. And in West Kelowna, if you're familiar with Pritchard, it's got a great location. And you can see here, original home had some renovations, but in 1970, and you can see it's not completely updated, but what's selling this one? Real estate rules, location. Having that waterfront was likely the driver on this one. Was 28 days on market though. And you see how much people are negotiating right now. So it was listed at just 3.8 million and sold for $225,000 less than the ask price in 28 days. So if you are a buyer out there, as we looked at last week, people are wanting to do deals right now. Another sale that we did have come up and that I wanted to bring up was one I was watching. This one actually was really interesting to see, as this one had sold a year and a half ago. And so looking at this one in Rutland Road, on El Carlo Road in Rutland. And this property was actually sold last year in March of 2024, and it just resold again for $1 million. And when you look at the actual last sold, I'll bring it up for you guys, but it was actually $999,000 what it actually sold for. So the current sellers of this property are actually losing money on this sale when you factor in property transfer tax, when you factor in the fees. Yes, they broke even on the actual purchase price and the sale price. That was a break even, but when you factor in the cost, they probably lost about 50 grand on this in about a year and a half. Something to keep in mind when you're looking at these ones. People are motivated and they're willing to lose money on it. Did sit on the market for 102 days. So you see, if this is an indicator of the market, it was a relatively flat market from when they bought it in 2024 to now for the single family home prices. When you're looking at the overall sales, as we've noted, inventory is starting to drop down. You can see in the green here how the inventory is starting to drop down year to date. We are active listings less than when we were last year at this time, at the end of November. But this is showing for December. So we've had additional sales listings drop off. When you look at December, we're down about 140 active listings for true inventory on it. So this is what's important to know is we're seeing those, if you recall, that 134 and about 99 sales. So about 230 listings coming off the market and about 150 new listings coming onto the market. So we are seeing that same drop here. So it's changing inventory is dropping 140 active listings. Sales at 80 for the month of December so far. Pretty much this last week, it has been showing the same amount of sales, but we'll see how things continue heading into in this past week, we've had 19 sales over $1 million. Highest sale, as noted, was at 3.5, but we also had one at 3.1 and one at 2.79. We've had a total of 6 sales over $2 million in the last week alone. So higher end properties are still selling. When you want to look at the lower end properties, the lowest price was $198,000 and for on Lakeshore Road in Lower Mission. But when you're looking at apartments, one in Rutland sold for $302,000. So you're looking about for a manufactured home about $200,000 entry level pouring, and for an apartment $300,000 for a sale in Rutland. And if you are looking for properties right now and you want to get updated emails of them right into your inbox, just reach out, give me a call, and I can do a walkthrough with you, get you set up so all the properties are coming right to your inbox. And hey, if you're a seller just looking to see what your neighbors are selling for, one thing I do for all my clients, set up automatic sales. That will come to you as soon as properties similar to yours or in your neighborhood sell. So just let me know in the comments or shoot me an email, text message, whatever you need to do, and I'll respond and get you the information you're looking for. But when you're looking at apartments, one in Rutland sold for $302,000. So you're looking about for a manufactured home about $200,000 entry level pouring, and for an apartment $300,000 for a sale in Rutland.